another video where I'm reviewing pile of paintings, drawings I did in the winter time. In the winter time, I paint indoors, small formats like this, 18 by 24, because it's really cold outside. My studio is in the backyard. I have a big shed, and I paint big canvases in the summertime. But in the winter, I paint small. So there are hundreds and hundreds of drawings. You see there, like a pile of 500. There is a pile of 500, maybe even 800. There's a box of fresh of 500. So I let you into my mind. Those are 1 out of 10. This is something I'll photograph after this video. Why I have chosen those, what is so interesting about them. There needs to be some sort of balance between busyness of elements and empty space. This is a drawing, so by definition, it should not be overworked, okay? It can be very detailed study, but it should be happening somewhere here in the center. Here, for instance, this is my, again, a freehand interpretation of creative process. The artist is losing a shape. He's barely human. He's screaming something, supposed to be voice, coming in straight lines. And his brush, there is no brush, like a splash of paint. This is energy, this circular energy. So it's a very simple statement. Artist, sort of vertical, but not really. And then the circle, and then very dynamic lines symbolizing his voice, his noise. This is an old drawing. This is after I recovered from depression, so it's about April 2020, I think, so 3 years old. Self-portrait, it's not really about photographic vision of my face, my dimple. No, it's about a vision of reality. What incorporates my reality, my thoughts, my ideas, my wishes, my what I already made up, like a symbol, windmill symbol of passions, human passion. It's spinning with the speed of sound, and the hair are blowing this way, and the eyelashes are long like worms, and all kinds of butterfly stencils, and all kinds of greens over here. Even the feather is attached, silver moon, and all kinds of bizarre silver elements. Exploding volcano, also symbol of passions. And there is darkness, unexplained. So it's this boiling image of a human emotions. And here is last year when I started experimenting with 1 or 2 colors on paper. I'm trying to transfer in the winter time from black and white onto color because painting outside. So you get 3 colors plus graphite. It's supposed to be a figure of an artist, but it's supposed to be diluted within the nature. The shape of a human body is supposed to be part of the natural environment. And the landscape is also blown by the wind, some kind of moon or sun. Very textural, very heavy glue on. So these are sketches. These are different takes on different subjects. My watermark effect, God. Here's a stencil made with glue and sand. This is made out of sand. This is Holy Grail. DNA, primordial particles conglomerating into atoms. Struggle. 2 daggers stands for struggle. Pandora's box. So I'm incorporating elements, and I'm trying to figure out how many is too many elements. And there's some sort of 3 figures, or heart what it says. Maybe there are 3 children dancing, And here, again, my favorite subject in the past couple of years is artist creating. This artist comes in different caricatural, not even caricature, it's some sort of glue, like a substance of meat, like organic goo, like a swamp, and here's some sort of brush, and paint is splashing all over, creating galaxies. He's creating his universe. You understand? So it's not about painting in this particular drawing. This is one of my older 3-year-old drawings where I really loaded with different symbols, beginning of the universe, Big Bang, and creation of space and time, some kind of airplane flying towards us, and there's some kind of lightning. Yeah, I think I intended to do lightning hitting the big city, civilization, blood, Statue of Liberty, all kinds of formulas, and oh, this is a map in the solar system. This is where we're located in the solar system. You know, these are different thoughts. It's like a sketchbook of a guy who is thinking over and over and over. And here's an artist sitting in his studio. So it's not that he's, I guess it's a female. No, it's female and male at the same time. So it's androgynous figure sitting like a blob, like a big. This is older, 3-year-old. It's about a storm. So there's this fishing boat and there's this giant storm, and there is some kind of monster in front of this fishing boat. So the fishing boat is trying to capture this monster, but as you see, the monster is probably bigger than the fishing boat, and there are two hearts pulsating here, and the wave is about to swallow this fishing boat and the moon. So there are many hearts over here hidden. So it's a pirate symbol, something. And here again is an artist. So these drawings, they have this pile. They have this very fine balance. Not too much, not too little. So it's obvious what is in it, but it doesn't have too many messy elements. Because the pile of needs to be redone is over there. There are like 800 of them. So here I applied my pubic hair, so it got stuck in a paint. The artist with a brush is bending and creates a circle. But I'm surprised that the acrylic paint, it wasn't acrylic. It was acrylic mixed with oil. These bizarre paints they used to make. And I inherited after old lady died. This is erotic, this is woman's vagina. Here's pubic hair. Here's some kind of lingerie. She's wearing some kind of fishing, fishnet stockings. This is very interesting. Amor versus true love never dies. So it's a rock of wisdom raised by farmers 5,000 years ago in Europe. And when Romans invaded Europe, they carved all kinds of messages in Latin language. So I'm pretending, but obviously I wasn't mistaken. Obviously, hedgestone. How do you call it? In England, they also got carvings in Latin. We got DNA, we got human prints, some kind of sun, some kind of god over here, pulsating particle, faraway volcano, Pandora's box. So it's a very interesting composition, very dynamic. DNA is crossing. There's a giant pyramid, really huge. The curvature of planet Earth. So I like the gentleness of the tree and how the wind is blowing this tree. This Gaia, my Gaia trees, this came out pretty interesting. It's really rich, but it's also not too heavy, not too much. It has a lot of air. Here's another artist full of energy. He's splashing his paint and he's screaming something, and the stars are all over the place. So these are dynamic compositions when the energy is expressed in paint itself. So it doesn't really matter. He has 2 legs or 3 legs. Okay, here's a couple. Here's my girlfriend and myself. She has blue eyes. She has long hair. And here is attached a page from my diary. I wrote a lot of diaries a few years ago. And so this is an interesting composition, and what can I say? It works for me. It's painted very liberally. So it's about love. It's about couples. They wanted me to exhibit in my hometown in Russia, Saratov Museum of Art, those couples. So maybe I should call them and send them a bunch, just donate it to museum. So here's another artist. Paints, and again, this is not a blob. It's made with smooshed like with a knife. So he's very angly, like angles. He's not liquidy. It's not leaking. Here's another erotic. It's with fabric attached. So it's a vagina, pubic hair, some kind of lingerie, and she's wearing black dress. And I'm not sure about those fabrics. They make my artwork appear cheap. Art is, you see, there's different spiritual value in a handwork, in the lines, and the stupid fabric, some kind of, manufactured. And here's a guy grabbing lady's crotch, and she's grabbing him. So it's a first kiss. I guess they're making out, sort of. Well, the way one of those is created, first I pour paint, and then I start seeing shapes in it, and I fix it a little here, a little there, give it more shape, but it's basically happening by itself. I pour some sand over the guy to make him more, how do you call it? Coarse, more coarse. He's the guy. This is the technique I developed in the past few years, where every line is unpredictable. I'm not going to disclose it. I call it infinity machine, because the nature of the substance of this matter comes out infinite. It's impossible to repeat. You understand?